I'm electric.
BritSmash.
Alright, so as you noticed, we're dressed differently. All of us are dressed differently because we had to take a small break.
Day and a half break. I had work, so I had to leave.
Rather quickly. So, now that we're back here though, we're going to be able to
talk about what we wanted to talk about.
Expand on our thoughts. Yes, exactly. Yeah. That's what I was going for. And one of the thoughts, so now we can get back to it. Nathan, you want to lead off with this scene and a point?
Yeah, I wanted to talk on the different versions of storytelling of Kylo Ren bringing down Luke's temple. I thought it was really intriguing that there was no real true side. The truth was in the middle. Because Luke presents it as, oh, he just brought it down. He went crazy. And then Kylo was very much so, as a frightened child, viewed his uncle going to attack him, and he brought out his saber on the defense, and they clashed. And then we found out in the middle that Luke had a fleeting thought of the dark side go over him as he sensed the dark side in Kylo Ren, a strong amount, and he ignited the saber, but then he pulled back. It was like a fleeting shadow, he said, but Kylo Ren saw that too late, and they clashed sabers, and he brought down the whole temple. So that very much drove them apart, and I thought that was a really intriguing thing that they presented. And had Luke not done that, I wonder where Ben's future would have ended up.
It's interesting because it's like, well, who was right? Because even when Luke said that, like, that doesn't seem like the full story, the way Ben was like, because if he was truly on the dark side, why is he so hurt up against the death of Han, him killing Han, and how he didn't want to kill Leia? There was true darkness in him.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. I did love how it makes sense to why Luke is the way he is. He didn't just run and hide, and at the same time he's not the same character that we know, because he's gone through a major failure. And honestly, it's very hard to come back from that, and especially when you're trying to live up to Obi-Wan and Yoda, to see yourself fail that much.
Yeah.
It makes sense to where he is as a character, I think.
Yeah, and it kind of attributes to Yoda. It's like, you think masters don't make mistakes.
Yeah.
You know, that's nice. The role of a master. Teach them your mistakes so your students can learn from them, so they can surpass us. And I thought that was powerful, and like just Luke kind of accepting that towards the end, and then just when we realize as an audience what really happened between him and Kylo and how he and his spies like truly did fail him.
Yeah, definitely. I do like Yoda's quote that the greatest teacher failure is, and Luke very much accepts that by the end. And I also love Yoda's last line, we are what they grow beyond, that is the true burden of masters. That was beautifully written.
That's such a powerful line.
Yeah, definitely. That is a great scene. I wish I could see it again, because honestly, just seeing Yoda was such a surprise. That for a second I wasn't listening to what he was saying, because it's just like, oh my gosh, like this is happening. So, but yeah, definitely some really potent lines. Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
When Kylo brings Rey to bring there to Snoke. What do you guys think about that one?
I was just like, in the whole time, I was just hoping like, oh, she can't, because everyone was speculating she's gonna go to the dark side, and he's gonna go to the light. That's what everyone wanted. Came in kind of like expecting like, oh, Rey's gonna turn. But, you know, as you're going through, I'm like, don't do it, don't do it. It just, with her, it felt like a parallel with like, oh god, and, no. Revenge of the Sith. When Padme's like, there's good in him, I know it, and Rey's kind of like saying that to Luke about Ben Solo, like, there's good in him, I know it, I can turn into the dark side, and they're like, well, consequently, he can turn you to the dark, and once that realization was made, I thought that was intense.
Yeah, absolutely. I know we touched on Snoke a little bit, his overconfidence, But what did you feel about not really even a lightsaber duel, but just people with lightsabers going ham on people? What did you think about that?
The team up?
On the Praetorian Guards, or what they're called.
Yeah, that was amazing. It really was. Like my whole theater started to applaud because it was shot epically because they like panned out and they kind of like did like a rotating shot and it continued on. The same shot continued for a while as they started fighting. And the way it ends was really cool, like how Rey is like in the chokehold and then she drops the saber, catches it, slices the leg, and then turns off the saber, throws it at Ben, and then he catches it and just like on and off through the guard's head. Amazing, and once again, more applause showed up.
That was legit.
That was our theater too. We all were like, because once you realize, oh shit, Snoke's dead, and the Petroleum Guard, I think I pronounced that incorrectly,
That's
but
okay.
like that slow motion turn when they're back to back, and you're just like, this is it,
Yeah.
this is it, and it was just, because at that moment, you're watching it without knowing what's gonna happen. It's like, so, wait, so is Ben Kenobi gonna go good? No, Ben Kenobi.
Ben Solo.
Ben Solo gonna be good? Is he really?
Yeah.
Because they're working together. It seems like he just killed Snoke, so clearly he's gonna go to light side. But then it's just like he goes, let the past die,
Yeah, kill it.
and then just. Sorry, I skipped ahead, but like just in that moment in that fight scene, they were in sync.
Yeah, that's a good point you bring up because at that moment you're really enjoying this, just like Nathan said. The whole audience is like, "Oh hell yeah!" But at the back of your mind, like, what's gonna happen now? Supreme Leader dead. He might turn good. You're thinking. You're hoping Ben Solo's turning good. Like, who's the bad guy? Who's like the antagonist anymore? Who's the main like Supreme Leader? And like, so what's gonna happen next? Like, what? Who's gonna take that? And then he's like, "No, come with me." And she's like, "No, come with me." And it's like, oh, fuck. Like, what did you feel about when they're kind of fighting over the lightsaber? Like, they're just, that conflict is insane.
It's definitely really epic. I actually did think Ben would turn back to the light, and I was actually ready for the redemption. I was like, all right, cool, we're gonna take down the First Order. But it was like, oh no, not how you think it's gonna go. I love how unpredictable the movie was. Absolutely. And the way they're both using the Force to try to get the saber, which I think is also a good callback to Force Awakens when they're trying to get it in the snow. It shoots back. That's really cool. And just the fact that this ancient artifact of that's been from Anakin to Luke to here, and then it cracks in half. Kind of broke my heart a little because it's my favorite prop used in the Star Wars films.
Yeah.
It is really cool they would execute that.
It's a really cool point because a lot of people were unclear because it's never really told. They never really tell you why that lightsaber's there. But now I love how that's out the window. It's like it doesn't matter. Like it's here now. That's what.
Yeah.
I like how that just went out the window. Like this is just it's exactly what you're talking about. It's a great thing to tie it all together.
Mm-hmm.
And it works great that way. So to have it finally, and that kind of represents the movie. What you know, everything you have watched, it's no more broken.
That was still a badass fight though. I'm still like picturing like the beautiful like black floor with the red.
That was a really good set. My
that
goodness.
You could tell it was like a studio kind of if you looked really
Yeah.
hard and paid attention. But it looks so fucking good. It looks so good. It just looked crisp and clean.
Yeah.
I did wanna bring up a thing. I think Brittany, you had said this on your Stardust review. Follow us all on Stardust. I think you said like you low key ship Kylo and Rey.
It's the fan. Okay, listen. I know I have a fangirl side, and I think that's what I bring to the table here. The fangirl side, because you guys bring in the whole, we've been following these movies since I was a child, and so have I. But, like, you know, I'm also a girl, and I admit where my fault is, and yeah, because, like, they connected. And it's kind of stupid to like talk about comparing like, you know, the grand scheme of the full movie. You know, like obviously I understand like the ship is not like the main reason for a movie. The plot comes first.
Yes.
But, you know, I had to respect like they, in that moment after their fight scene when they're talking with each other, trying to convert each other, they cared about each other. You know, you can tell that they accepted their link with each other, that even though whether Snoke forced him to with that link or not, or if it just happened because of the Force, and continues to happen to the Force because it felt like it was still there when they were on that other, like, planet.
What is it? Is it called Crate?
Yeah.
What is that?
That's what it's called?
The Salt Planet?
Yeah.
Yeah, Crate.
Okay.
Yeah, so even on there, like, they could feel each other, so there was still a connection, and I think part of me is, like, it has to do with what I mentioned about the Star Wars, the Clone Wars reference with, like, the light and the dark and how they are the new representation of that.
Right.
But then it's also, like, they are connected because, like, you know, the light doesn't exist without the dark. You can't kill one without the other. And the only way I see this going is if, in the next one, they both die or they both accept each other. Because they are not.
Wow.
Well,
it's pretty interesting. What's that?
I brought up the whole ship thing, because when I first heard it, I was like, what? Because the very popular, the ship online is called Raylo.
It's sad because, like, I acknowledge it because, like, low-key want it to happen, but again, the story's gonna go the way it's gonna go. It's like, but it's still, like, you know, like, they were, like, it's interesting the movie not only targeted, like, nerd fans who enjoy the story and the stuff, but it's another audience where there are fangirls out there. Like, okay, you mean to tell me that one scene when she's like, I really don't want to do this right now, he's like, I kind of don't want to either, and, like, turns out he's, like, just out of the shower, and she's like, can you just put a shirt on or something? And it's just like, fangirl hearts beating everywhere, okay?
Yeah, I wanted to say, because, I love a good ship as well. And when I first heard you say it, I was like, that's bizarre, because I've been against the whole Raylo thing since day one. But then I watched the movie again, and I was like, oh, okay, I see it. They got great chemistry. I was like, if it did happen, I'd like it. But I very much actually ship Ray and Finn, honestly.
Yeah, and then they did the whole Ray with Rose. No, Ray
Wow.
with Rose.
That's something.
Finn with Rose.
Welcome to the new Star Wars, ladies and gentlemen.
Finn with Rose. They did Finn with Rose.
I think even though like Rose kissed Finn, but I think Finn was very confused. Like, wait, what? Like, he wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, because he's hung up on Ray. Everything he did
is for Ray.
Yeah, even, like, they didn't even see each other the whole movie, not until the end, and everything he was doing was for Ray. The only reason he went down to the planet to try to get more fuel to get everyone out, or, like, to find that guy to get that hacking to get them out.
So that Ray didn't go to the ship that was being destroyed. That is the only thing he's doing. And then he's finally finding his place more so.
Yeah.
What it means to be a resistance fighter.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what he was proving to us when he was launching straight for the battering ram laser.
Yeah.
That he was ready to be. It's pretty, it sucks a lot, but some of the best scenes are when you make a sacrifice and that's when you fully become what you were trying to be.
Yeah, when he's just driving on the, sorry, I blanked out, like, what you mean, like, when he's driving on the plane and then he's, like, going through, it's like, holy cheese and rice, this is it, he's gonna go, and then just last minute, just nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
I think that's the moment when he became a resistance. He became part of the resistance fully, is that moment.
Fighting for something bigger than himself.
Absolutely. Just like that. Oh, Nathan brought this up before we ended, but we need to talk about Phasma. And
yeah.
So if you want to leave with that, please do.
Oh, okay. Pressure. Okay. This is a common criticism that I actually do agree with. Phasma was kind of underused again in this. But I think it was a good resolve to have her and Finn confront each other. Sorry, there's a fly in here. Sorry. um. So, and I don't think she's necessarily dead because they showed Rose shoot Phasma's armor and it just deflected, and she has the crack in the helmet, but I feel like her armor can withstand a heat like that. So I feel like she'll be back in 9, just with like a huge burn scar on her face. If it's like if they reveal her whole face, that would be really cool with the huge burn scar. Be really cool. I wanted to make a certain point, kind of blanking. You guys go on off of that. Oh no, I remember. Sorry. It was a cool fact was Phasma's armor is made out of the same plating that the Emperor's flagship was made out of. It's the same indestructible metal, so I thought that was cool. That's just a nerd fact. You guys go on.
I agree with what you said about Phasma. Yeah, she wasn't used a lot, but she made definitely her presence known.
Known, yeah.
You know, and I kind of see what you mean as the like she might be back. I mean, because we've seen so many people fall to their deaths in the pit of fire and yet they still lived. So I don't see that as a not possibility. I'm hoping she does come back. If she doesn't, if not, if she does, that'd be awesome. And maybe, like you said, see her whole face, because in this movie, we just saw the crack in her eye, so we were able to see the actress, like just a little eye, and just like, oh my god.
Tarth.
Brienne of Tarth.
Oh, so leading up to that, did you guys see DJ's portrayal coming?
No. Yeah. On second viewing, you see it come a lot more. Like when he's like taking such a long time to open the door, it's like, oh, you dick. But like the first time, I was like, I'm very intrigued by this character with the stutter. I want to see where he goes, and I love Benicio del Toro. He's a great actor. It was like Lando without the redemption. I think he could come back and like maybe like have some form of a soft spot later. But as of right now, he's not a good guy.
Can I politely disagree? Okay. I totally saw him betraying them in an instant. Oh. Because, first off, he was a stranger. He was in jail when they found him. So obviously, like, you know, it's not to say every, like, character that ends up in jail, like, in the Star Wars universe, like, is a bad person. There's some good people trapped there, too. But my red flag was they were supposed to go for the guy with the red flower, like, brooch. You know, they were trying to look for that guy. And Maz recommended...
That's right. I forgot about that.
She's fighting shit. Yeah. But she recommended that guy because she's like, there's one guy that I trust that'll be able to do it, and it's this guy. Because, I mean, there's not... To find another person willing to work with the Resistance and that you would trust to go against the First Order, that's very slim with the amount of power that the First Order has. So not a lot of people with that knowledge of how to be able to hack in would exist to support the Resistance. Otherwise, they'd be in the Resistance already. So the fact that he's just like, oh, I'm gonna get out, like, let's do this, I'm just doing this, like, he got just... Firstly, he didn't follow them anyways, he just did his own thing, and BB-8 kind of was one of those, he was just, like, intrigued. Not really like, oh, I want to help these guys, like, I'm gonna pretend and I want to don't help, but I have a soft spot. Like, no, he was just intrigued with the droid. Like, he's just like, oh, who are you? And he's just kind of, he was more of like a going along for the ride, instead of with the drive like, nah, these guys need my help. He had that mentality. So even when he's there and he's like, well, we're doing this now. Then let's see how this benefits me. Instead of the whole, okay, I changed my mind, I want to help them. Ha! Because he was just raiding their own ship, so I kind of saw that he was going to betray them because he never had the drive like, oh, I want to help you. It's more of like he was going along the lines of, this is happening now, and I'm going to see how I can twist this to my favor.
Yeah. I think what got me to believe, oh, maybe he will be with us is, well, first off, when he's like, I need payment, and he takes Rose's necklace. I watched that, I was like, oh, you jerk, didn't you see what her sister did in the opening? Yeah. But then he gives it back after he uses it, and I was like, okay, so maybe there's some good in him. But then it's like, no. Nope.
I
You see
did.
my thing with that.
Yeah.
I did like how he touched on something where he's not necessarily a bad guy, but there's just people out there that are benefiting from the war, and they're just people. They're not aligning themselves, but they're just out there trying to make money, and you can view that as bad or good. Because, like he pointed out when they're on that ship, this person that owned the ship was selling to the First Order and the Resistance. So
Yeah,
they're just they're greedy. You can definitely say that, but are they bad? That is a I don't know. It's an interesting thing.
It brings up a point. Some people, like with the First Order and the Resistance, they do what they do to either. Some people are part of the Resistance, not really for the cause. Some people just are trying to make a buck.
Exactly. So I thought I did enjoy that part of his character where he's trying to explain to Finn it's not about alliances all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. DJs.
What did you guys think about the porgs?
I want one!
Um,
I want one! Just with Chewie, he's like eating the obvious like little chicken and then they're all just staring at him. And then just the one little pork that's just like just the wide eyes and I'm just like, oh, baby. Sorry, the girl came out again. Alright. You guys wanted a female opinion, but...
wow! Oh wow! The porgs were fine. Like, it's just they're just there. I don't know.
I know they are just there, but I mean, you can't deny that they are so adorable.
Yes, I did like the part when he's like, he's just like, fine, you jerk. Like,
I love how the one pork's hanging out with Chewie the whole time.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that was cool. And then like when Chewbacca gets his time to shine and they're just fucking all his stuff up, he's like, get out of here. Like that was kind of funny, but
Okay.
and they made like a nest in the Millennium Falcon. He's like, wow, okay. Yeah.
Can I make just a non-Star Wars related joke, kind of? When we get a corgi, can we name it Porgy?
Yes.
All around me.
It's so cute. I had the epiphany. I'm just like, oh, it's a cute porky corgi. Have a little Star Wars bandana on it. Okay, I'm done.
I think my favorite porg moment was when they're like flying through the interior of Crate, and then like they make a sharp turn, and the porg just lands on the window.
She's like, oh, that's so cute.
Oh.
It's funny, yeah.
The movie appeals to a larger audience. It's appealing to little girls that wanted to enjoy that.
I'm not saying I don't enjoy it. It's just like it's not the main, or you know, obviously it's not gonna be anybody's main thing to enjoy, but it's just there. It's funny, but it doesn't really matter. I don't know.
I enjoyed it. I'm with you, Nathan. I enjoyed it. And I thought they were
I'm not saying that I don't enjoy it. Whoa.
All right. It's funny how much they're in scenes. Like even when people are talking, there's like a porg in the corner, just doing something.
Exactly. This is what I looked like.
It's so funny. Speaking of like cute things, I just thought it was I thought it was cute whenever Rey called Chewbacca Chewie, because I had never heard her say Chewie. I just like there's a bond there. That's cute.
I respected that because she's like, Chewie's like, I'm gonna protect this one. I'm gonna be with this one. I am here now.
Exactly.
Speaking of Rey and Chewie, one of my favorite moments that made me go F yeah was when they are going through Crate and Rey's in the gunner seat, and they're playing the exact same music they played from A New Hope when Han and Luke are shooting the TIE fighters down. It's so cool. I love it.
That's a nice homage. I didn't catch that the first time I watched it. Can't do that to me. I only watched it once, but still. That hurts.
Do you think there's a big thing involving the dice from the Millennium Falcon?
I thought it was just something that Han had.
It definitely is, but like Luke brings it in his Force Ghost form to Leia and leaves it with her, and then by the end Kylo has it and it disappears. I think that went with the symbolism that Kylo killing his father is always going to be with him, just like Luke. Yeah, but I think it also could tie into an Easter egg for the Han Solo film in May. Like maybe that's the dice that won the Falcon from Lando.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's an interesting theory. Solo comes out technically next year, right?
Solo.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
I think I'm just kind of going into Easter eggs at this point.
Yes, that's fine.
Did you guys notice when they put like that laundry basket on BB-8, pretending he's an Imperial droid?
Yeah.
He's making the same noise as the mouse droids from the Empire.
Yeah, I did like that. It's just like,
I think
he's innovative, definitely.
I think I also heard, because every Star Wars film, someone says I have a bad feeling about this.
Yes.
I think I heard the person who says it is BB-8, which I thought was weird. Interesting, but like I think he beeps it.
He beeps it?
Yeah, because I didn't hear anybody else say it. I heard somebody say in an Easter egg video that BB-8 says it, which is weird to me.
Yeah, it's a little weird. But
At least I said it.
yeah, exactly.
I just wish I could have seen him. I like how he hid his X-wing under the water.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring. Did you guys think that maybe he would lift it out and fly it to Crate like he did in Empire?
That's what I was thinking we were gonna get. That's what I so thought we were gonna get. He's gonna lift it up just like he did in Empire, put it down, fly it away, and then be there. But then, like you said, I think what gave it away that this is not the Luke that it's not Luke is when he pulls out the blue lightsaber. And like, that's weird. Like, why does he have that? And it's kind of saddening we only got to see his green in flashbacks.
Yeah.
That was pretty saddening.
Where did his green lightsaber go? That's the main question. Where did it go?
Well, I mean, that's interesting.
It could still be on Octu, the island. I was also really hoping to see it in action. Like we did get in flashback, yeah. And it is a lot more poetic when you see Luke's original saber, but I was really hoping for the green saber because that's an awesome looking saber.
It is.
I feel like I've talked about it so much. I feel like I've brought it up to everybody. But I do love the send off that they gave. It is the most poetry thing you've ever seen when like he started his journey in life at the Twin Suns on his home planet, and even when Obi-Wan brought him to his Aunt Owen, Uncle and Aunt Beru in Revenge of the Sith, it was also sunset of Twin Suns, and then it was also here. So his life, his journey, and the end of his life, all was at, and with the same music too, and with the sunset, it was the most beautiful poetic rhyming I've ever seen in film.
Yeah. I watched it and I heard the music. I was crying, I was obviously crying, but I wasn't sad. You know, I was like Leia, it's like he's with the Force now. I'm like, I was sad, but I also accepted it, and my nerd heart couldn't handle it, and I'm just like, he's with the Force. Damn, it was just so beautiful and poetic. I couldn't be sad about it. It was just very beautifully done. I couldn't see any other end for Luke because he gave the Resistance a chance.
I think it's time for him to be a Force Ghost, though.
Yes.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, I think he'll be back in Episode 9, Force Ghost.
That'd be great.
You kind of tap in if he has some abilities still.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be sick. But, yeah, no, it was a pretty beautiful send-off. And, like, for a second, you're just hoping he's alive. And it was really well done because we haven't seen a disappearance of,
like
of a Jedi. We didn't really get the... Did we ever see a Jedi disappear in the prequels?
No, because Qui-Gon Jinn was the one to discover being a Force ghost.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. I love that episode in the Clone Wars. It's the best.
He didn't disappear, though.
No, he doesn't disappear, but...
He's the only one that doesn't disappear. Yoda...
He's burned.
Yeah. Yoda disappeared, and...
Obi-Wan
did.
So it was nice seeing that kind of confirmation that he's gone. You know, it would have been different if his body just fell over. Just the fact that he disappeared, and we haven't seen that in so long, was really, really poetic. It was really nice.
Mm-hmm.
The very end of the film. Well, first off, like all the resistance that are left are all aboard the Millennium Falcon, including a Porg. Um, but and it's cool seeing them all together, and the Falcon's flying through hyperspace, and I thought it was going to end right there, but then they go back to the Canto Bight casino planet, and we see the kids.
Yeah.
The one kid had he forced the broom to him. He
That's
pulled it to him.
right.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's right.
I think it's just building that we're going to be at a big time jump.
Yeah.
The last one.
I was curious about that because one of my coworkers said they saw the movie. He's like, I think there might be a time jump. Like, why do you say that? It's like, you'll understand when you watch the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, it makes sense. It makes sense. It might be a huge time jump.
That would be amazing.
I feel like there's you can't jump too much because we still have this main story we just dealt with to resolve. I think because Rian Johnson, the director, he's supposed to do a whole new trilogy. It's possible that was a setup to tell the story of that kid in that trilogy, maybe?
Huh. There's going to be another, not the Star Wars trilogy like with the Skywalkers, but a different like Star Wars story.
Yeah, it's going to be a spin-off story. It's part of the Star Wars universe we've never seen before, and it's going to be all together in a trilogy, but it's not going to be a saga film, not an episode.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm always intrigued with the world of Star Wars, just learning new things about the galaxy and just seeing the different stories, reading a bunch of the books and what's canon, what's not, what's accepted by the Force, and how it affects everyone in the different planets. So that'd be fun to see.
Absolutely. I'd love to see that. All right, I think we've gotten major points and major Easter eggs all covered.
So let's say what we rated this movie out of 10.
Very nice segue. You want to start it off, Nathan?
No, you guys lead.
Okay. From everything with the action and the storyline and the justice that I felt, while some people, I understand where they come from, they felt like it was done incorrectly, I respected the movie. I give it an 8 out of 10.
Wow. Honestly, I loved just about every aspect of the movie. I felt like the progression of the characters was correct, and because I understand that people change when they go through different experiences and they grow up, and that's just, you don't stay the same. So I understand that, and I loved the worlds they went to. I loved a lot of the sets they had, like I've said before previously. I loved the new characters. They were awesome. They didn't feel forced to me. And the lightsaber battles, and then everything about it I just really loved. The only thing I had a problem with is just the, I didn't want the whole movie to be set just with that space. But technically, like, a lot of part of the plot of Empire is the Millennium Falcon being chased. So I was thinking, I was like, you know, it's not like I haven't seen this before. And yeah, it's not like it's like, oh wow, how dare they just keep it in space all the time. It's the worst. It's like, no. So, I honestly really loved everything about it, so I just 9 out of 10.
So 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10?
Yeah.
Oh boy, pressure. Well, it's no doubt Star Wars is such a big thing, a part of my life. And I love how strong it's going, especially with this film. And Star Wars is very important to me. It's what made me want to be a filmmaker. So obviously there's a big weight to it that I'm tied with this entire saga. And even like the prequels that get criticized a lot, like I grew up with them, so I'm very much like enthralled by them. Even though I see their weaknesses now, I still find stuff where I'm like, okay, that's good. And for me, chronologically, the films, like, they all get better. So like if you go Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith, Rogue One, A New Hope, Empire, Jedi, Force Awakens, and it really still stands true now that The Last Jedi is in fact my favorite Star Wars film. Whoa. And with that being said, it very much is for me a 10 out of 10. Because I I've heard all the complaints that people have had with this film, and I can't see it. Even seeing it a second time, I can understand where they're coming from, but I still enjoy it so much. And if I don't have a problem with the film at all, it's definitely 100% to me. So definitely 10 out of 10.
Change mine?
Yes.
I gave it an 8 out of 10 just because, like, because I respect, like, what other people said, like, what they saw wrong with the movie. And I see what some other points that they have. So I can't deny, like, okay, yeah, those parts, you were right. That wasn't really, like, executed well. But the way that they did execute it, I still thought was fair. So that's why I gave it an 8 out of 10. But it doesn't mean I don't love the movie. I honestly thought it was amazing, and I would see it again. And again, and again, and again.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I guess I will keep it an 8 out of 10. So, group consensus, it's a 9 out of 10.
Right. But thank you guys for joining us. This is probably a very long video, but please indulge us because I honestly love my reviews to be long. I want to hear everything that, I want to hear different scenes, like people's take on different scenes. I like to hear, like, oh, I want to hear about this. So I want to think about what you guys want to hear. So I want to make sure that we're including every scene. That way it's like, oh, that was my favorite scene. I'm glad they're talking about that. So honestly, that's what I love to hear. When I'm watching a review, I want them to talk about what I'm like, I want to talk about the scene. So as long as we're covering a majority, I feel like we can get to everybody.
Yeah.
And that's my intent with these reviews. And I'm so happy that Nathan joined us and was able to share his knowledge and his double viewing. Definitely adds a new experience.
Definitely. This has been a great time. Thank you guys so much for having me. Like you guys said at the start, I have been a huge fan of the channel. And the fact that I'm actually on it right now is a little surreal. And even like Skyping with you right now, it looks like I'm in a video, but it's live and I'm interacting. It's crazy.
I'm so happy that we were able to do this with you, Nathan. And like we said, you were started as a fan, but you became our friend really quickly, and we support you. And thank you guys for all of our never-ending support. If you would like to check out Nathan's channel, it's below. Let us know what you guys thought of Star Wars The Last Jedi. What did you love about it? What were your critiques about it? What did you rate it? Let us know your thoughts, and we'll see you guys in the comment section.
Alright guys, so yes, like she said, once again, thank you very much for watching. Thank you, Nathan, for joining us. Make sure to subscribe to him and his other channel. It's called The Theater Experience. Very enjoyable.
Also below.
So make sure to check those out, and we cannot wait to collab with other people and keep going.
We might see Nathan in the next Star Wars movie. Probably.
Solo. Alright guys, catch you on the next one.
Bye!